similarities. I know you were heavily influenced by even your own little push-up apparatus. Is I think of Persian descent. No.
The push-up board that I use is used widely all through the Middle East. The Hindus also use it. Apparently, during one of the great Mongol invasions, a lot of the Persian Pahlavis were forced to flee, and they settled in India and brought a lot of their ideas. So there was a big melding between the Persians and the Indian culture during the Mongol invasion. They traded ideas back and forth. But in the Quran, wrestling is also a very, very important sport. It's considered one of the three holy sports: archery, horseback riding, wrestling. And the Iranians, I've always admired, because like they're very poor people. They don't have a lot of money over there. And I mean, every year after year after year, they would produce these fabulous world champion level wrestlers. I mean, even now in the team title in freestyle wrestling, the Iranians are always in the mix, you know, like one of the top four. And you just wonder how the heck they do it. But, you know, once again, they come from this long culture of wrestling, and the training for it has been going on for 2,000 years.
They're pretty big club swingers as well, right?
Some people claim that they brought the club swinging system to India. Other people claim that it was just like just an exchange of ideas, that the Hindus have been swinging clubs forever. Yeah. I don't know whether the truth will ever be known, but they certainly swang clubs, and they used the push-up board for a bunch of exercises. The way I learned it, one of my students was an undercover agent for the FBI here in Philadelphia, and he had folks in Tehran. He actually videotaped the Zorkhaneh in Tehran and brought back the ritualized training regimen that they use even to this day. And I got a chance to, like, it was almost like going into the Zorkhaneh, which means House of Power.
House of Power.
House of Power. And I was able to see exactly what was going on. And it was quite fascinating to me. I loved the whole ritual, the whole training regimen.
Would you ever visit Iran, Steve?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I really do. I think I would go through the proper channels. I don't think I'm going to be hiking across the border or anything.
No.
I would probably contact the embassy, let them know my intentions, and get permission from the government, which Iranian people are extremely friendly people. Everyone I've ever met was a delight. And I bet you that if you came with an open mind, especially one of cultural admiration, that they would probably welcome you with open arms. And I would make sure I went through those official channels, though. You know,
yeah.
I wouldn't want you reading about me in
being held ransom
in the paper. You know, I'd be doing my Iranian twisting push-ups in the jail cell somewhere, man.
Yeah. Well, see, we talked about so much before I actually turned on the camera. What I guess we were talking a little bit about this whole primal surge, this whole Paleolithic surge. Do you want to share any thoughts on that? Or barefoot running? I mean, we talked on so many.
Yeah, the dive industry now. I mean, basically, people are looking for that magic bullet. I mean, the truth be known, it really comes down to calories. I mean, there's a guy on the net now. I forget the guy's name, but he's actually doing a Twinkie diet. I mean, Debbie Hostess cupcakes.
Oh, Twinkie diet.
Twinkie diet, just to prove a point. He's already lost 15 pounds just eating the worst food you can imagine, sugar-laden food.
Yeah.
But not that he thinks it's so healthy. Obviously, it's not going to build good, healthy tissue. But he just wants to prove that it's, you know, it all comes down to calories as far as weight control and weight loss. Doesn't matter what you're eating, it all comes back to calories. There's no magic foods. There's no magic nutrient portioning. Timing of the diet, it just.
How about the hormonal effect?
You know, in laboratory, animals that are deprived of food lose weight, and animals that overeat gain weight. Now, some do more than others. You can lose muscle mass and so forth, but it really just comes down to calories. Now, within that spectrum of calories, you know, there are little tricks that you can use to keep yourself from being hungry, to help control appetite, hormone control, as you say.
Yeah.
You know, appetite set with hormone control. But the paleo diet we'll go back to that, is just one more example of people looking for that magic pill. It's not necessarily the foods. First of all, no one knows what paleo man ate. The theory is based on the idea that humans are very slow to mutate, and that somehow modern man has the same genetic structure of our hunter-gatherer ancestors. Well, it's been recently proven that this is simply not so. Man mutates and can change much more rapidly than anyone ever would have thought. And there's already been all sorts of genetic adaptations towards grain-based and dairy-based diets. Man can do quite well in these things. I mean, look at the Mongols, for example, who were a dairy-based society. They conquered the world, fierce warriors. The Hindus revere